Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. I just wanted to do a follow-up video to my Fallout build guide video. We're here in the Glowing Sea. We got a level 82 character. It is a Charisma Intelligence build, although we aren't using a lot of Charisma stuff. Really just did that for settlement building. As you can see, I just started putting a couple more points into strength, but I don't have anything into heavy gunner. So at some point that may work well with this explosive minigun, but right now we're just showcasing spray and pray with this build. So we've got commando fully maxed out. That's agility 2, I believe. And that increases the damage of your automatic weapons. And then we've got demolition expert, which is perception 5. And I wouldn't go necessarily any higher than that in either of those in terms of skill points, because this is not a VATS build. And I've seen a lot of people struggling with VATS who are new to Fallout. I'm not going to name names. I was watching a gal play. She has over 500,000 subscribers. She's played a bunch of FPS games, but she just wasn't getting the idea of, hey, I've got to click the button to get into VATS and engage the enemy in VATS. And then her character wasn't really built for VATS. You know, if you're doing a VATS build, you got to have a lot of agility, because that's how you get agility points, which are used by VATS. So here, we're just engaging these feral ghouls, reapers, and stuff like that, just by aiming at them and spraying and praying. You know, explosive machine gun really does the job well, and those guys are easy. Don't worry. We're looking around. We're going to find some tougher enemies out here in the Glowing Sea. I am playing on very hard difficulty, not survival difficulty, but I am playing on very hard difficulty. As stated, I got a level 82 character. I've got the Hellfire power armor, and I've got spray and pray with just one mod, which is the fin to barrel. In real life, that fin to barrel is going to let it cool down a little bit so the shots won't string off or whatever. But in this game, you know, they don't do gun stuff like it does in real life. There's no overheating the barrel. You can rip all your ammo through this thing and your barrel won't melt down. All right, we're going to try to climb the mountain here. I've never truly fully explored the Glowing Sea, so I think I know what's over the edge of the mountain here is probably just the Crater of Adam, which I've been to that before, but we're just going to go make sure, yes, here's the Crater of Adam, and I'm not going to kill these people. And looks like the light is just coming out of the ground. Maybe that's why Fallout 76 had light coming out of the ground. Just an idea. I've never played that game, friends. I am a purist. Fallout is a single player game, not a multiplayer online game. And I really find the microtransactions of Fallout 76 distasteful. I think they introduced a bunch of armor into Fallout 76 that breaks canon of the game, so I will never play Fallout 76. If you play Fallout 76 and you enjoy it, bully for you. I think most of the people that are getting into Fallout after watching the Fallout TV show, like we all did on Amazon, and they did a great job with the show, I think most of those people are playing Fallout 4, which is why I wanted to follow up to show you at higher levels, when you have this build fully maxed, fully invested into commando, fully invested into demolition expert, maybe some points into endurance 7, the adamantium skeleton. I can't remember what the name of it is, but that way your own bullets won't damage you. So that's kind of an important one to add after a little bit. Here we're going to find a little bit of a tougher enemy up by this reactor. I haven't been up here before. So in a minute, I'm going to find a little bit tougher enemy than some zombies, some ferals, and we're going to take this guy out really quickly. All right, there we've got a chameleon deathclaw, and as you can see, it took us about 33 rounds, 43 rounds, and he is dead. Chameleon deathclaw is pretty strong. We've got some other tougher enemies yet to come, so if you want to check out more of the Glowing Sea, for our hunting expedition. I thought that was a skill magazine for a minute. Then hey, stick around. And if you don't, but you enjoyed what you've seen so far, don't forget to hit that like button. At some point, if I ever get real internet, I would love to stream Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. But right now my internet's really crappy, so this half-hour video is about all I can give to you. But if you are interested in something, a topic, or seeing what a build might look like at higher levels, let me know. And I can probably crank out another half-hour video on that next weekend. So just to clarify for this build, a lot of comments on my earlier video were saying, hey, you didn't put enough points into strength. You know, eventually, when you get the strength bobblehead, you'll have 3 points in strength that allow you to start modding your armor. I can tell you right now, with this build, I took this character into the location of the strength bobblehead, which I'm not going to divulge out loud, not going to ruin it for anybody. But I got that strength bobblehead at level 12. Okay, so it is possible to get the strength bobblehead at level 12. It might even be possible to get it earlier than that, but that was just the level of the character that I took there to see if I could do it. So, and here's the thing. If you come out of the vault and you scrap everything you can scrap in Sanctuary, and you build up your defenses in Sanctuary and build up some other stuff, you're not going to have a problem advancing to probably about level 5, and then indigenously through the storyline, like going to the museum and meeting the people you meet there, and traveling down to Diamond City to try to find Cricket to buy this gun, and then maybe going to where I talked about getting the ammo from. Oh, here we go, a Death Skull Rad Scorpion. This guy doesn't really respond when I shoot him. He just kind of runs away. There he rejiggered himself. I thought he was going to fast travel through the ground. I throw a grenade really poorly here, which doesn't injure him at all. But as you can see, spray and pray, no problem finishing the job there on what I would consider as a kind of a tougher enemy. All right. So anyway, I just don't think the low strength is a problem. And here's the other thing. You get power armor right away. In this game, you can get power armor straight out of the vault. You walk like 200 feet, and you have the opportunity to get at least a partial suit of power armor. So you're not going to need strength. And here's the other mistake that I saw that person who I was talking about earlier when they were playing. They were like, looting stuff, and then they're like, oh, I don't have enough capacity, I can't carry any more stuff, so I have to drop stuff. Look, when you're full, unless you're trapped in a dungeon, go unlock your stuff, go unload your stuff, go sell it to somebody. Because the thing is, you will learn over time, hey, some weapons were more valuable than others. And so that's the big reason I use power armor, not just for the armor, but also to carry stuff that I'm going to use for crafting, or stuff that I want to sell in order to make money. Okay? All right, here we've got a legendary Death Skull Rad Scorpion. And again, I'm just kind of using bats to figure out where he's at. Oh, we have a Deathclaw up top there too. This is going to actually be pretty funny. So I'm shooting this guy. I think he might be trapped in the ground here. We finished him off. We've got a Deathclaw up on top of this mound fighting somebody. And we're going to go loot this guy really quickly. Rad powered combat armor. Whatever. And we're going to go up this hill. And I'm just like, hey, let's see what's going on here. And he's fighting, an Alpha Deathclaw is fighting a glowing Rad Scorpion. But because the Alpha Deathclaw got thrown up in the air, it was pretty easy for me to finish him off and take him out. Look at the body parts just raining down all over the place here. Gotta love that. All right, so there's an Alpha Deathclaw. So again, a little bit of a tougher enemy. All right, I was hoping for more Rad Scorpions. I think we're going to walk around looking for them. So let's say you're watching this build and you like this, but you think, hey, I want a VATS build. And as cool as Spray and Pray is, it's available right out of the vault, I think with a 10 charisma. And you know, you might have a 9 charisma out of the vault if you want to use the bobblehead to get to 10. I would do that. I wouldn't get a 10 in the creation screen. You can always use an article of clothing. You can always use consumables to boost your charisma. Okay, so please keep that in mind if you are a low charisma player. But let's say this playstyle doesn't appeal to you, and you say, "Hey, I want to use VATS." You could do a pistol build. You're going to get a really nice VATS pistol if you proceed through the main storyline. That's an option. Another option you could take is do a high perception, high agility build and build into long guns, and then eventually start boosting up your luck. Because I think with a long guns agility build, like not necessarily a sniper build, but like a longer range rifleman build, like a DMR, what we call a designated marksman in the military. A DMR build, you're going to be using a semi-auto rifle. The one that I'm really enjoying in another character right now is the Manuel rifle, which is one of the Creation Club items. They've messed with it a little bit, but they kind of made it better. The Manuel rifle originally had a suppressed version where it was covering the whole barrel, and it really kind of looked weird because your fingers clipped into it. And now they've turned it back into a regular rifle with a normal looking suppressor on the end. So I really like the Manuel rifle, and I'm using that in a high perception, high agility, longer range rifleman build that you can use in VATS. Okay, so that would be what I would recommend if you don't want to do pistols in VATS. All right, here we've got a Rad Scorpion fighting off a bunch of Broodmother mole rats, and look, never underestimate the power of multiple attackers. Anyway, one of them is a legendary, and we're just gonna clean it up right there with spray and pray, and we're gonna get a safe crackers combat. Yeah, safe cracker stuff. I really don't need that because I have the lockpicking fully maxed out. So that's gonna go into the recycle bin. All right, looking around for more enemies. I am hitting the VATS button to see if I can lock in on any bad guys, and I'm just not seeing them around here. Look, the glowing sea is not as dangerous as people make it seem. It's not dangerous for my character at level 82 on the very hard difficulty, but you got to have your build that makes sense. I really advise for new players going to a website where you can kind of figure out the perks you want and the stuff you want and build your character kind of before you get into the game. Because sometimes, here's another really bad grenade throw, sometimes you'll say, oh, I want to do melee, and then later on you're like, oh, but I found a really cool legendary weapon, so fuck melee. So then you wasted your points. Anyway, Deathclaw Matriarch, a little bit tougher enemy there. Again, no problem for this build. Fully maxed, spray and pray, non-VATS build. And again, the one I recommend for new players. I know not everybody agrees with me. That's cool. If you think because I didn't put enough points into strength out of the vault, this isn't a very good one, then, opinions vary. But I think I'm kind of proving here, unlike in the last video where I'm shooting blowflies and stuff like that. Deeply ironic that I'm shooting blowflies here now, but an Eyebot. I love Eyebots. We're not having any problem with the worst the glowing sea can throw at me. Okay, and we are going to go find a much tougher enemy towards the end of the video. So if you want to see that, stick around. If you're interested in seeing more of the glowing sea, we're going to poke around this crashed aircraft here and see what we can find. Yeah, blowfly, not doing anything. Right now I'm probably seeing those guys through a wall. And so sometimes you got to get a little closer. And, I'll wholly admit that one of the weak points of this build is what you're seeing here. A moving enemy that's in the air. It is tougher to aim at a moving enemy when you're hip firing. But that being said, it's one of these practice makes perfect scenarios where after a while you'll become adept at hip firing and shooting a flying enemy won't be a big deal. It honestly won't be a big deal. Yeah, that guy wasn't as close to us as the others. No problem. All right. Hey, if you love Eyebots like I do, you definitely want to play Fallout New Vegas. There is an Eyebot you can get in that game, and he is my favorite companion in the history of Fallout. I played 3, New Vegas, and 4. Also played Wasteland, which is a Fallout adjacent game. Kind of similar to Fallout 1 and 2. I think they call those isometric games. Turn-based, you know what I mean? Little less role-playing in Wasteland, but you do get decisions that you have to make during the storyline. So that's what I'm talking about right there. You can see we did damage ourselves. An onrushing mole rat. I did have to heal myself up here. But trust me, you can kill yourself in the early game if you have spray and pray, and you're doing that, what I did right there. Shooting at your own feet, trying to kill an onrushing mole rat. You can definitely kill yourself. So as soon as you can, start putting points into Adamantium Skeleton. All right, here it looks like we found a bunch of gunners that were killed by synths. And I'm just saying killed by synths because they're all deconstructed into piles of goo. But that was very odd to me because, like, what are the gunners doing in the glowing sea without rad protection? You know, I mean, we have a full suit of Hellfire power armor on. Those gunners didn't have any kind of radiation protection that we know of. So I just scooped that up in case I might need it for later. It's probably a part of a quest that I'm not paying attention to. Here is our, to quote the great Oxhorn, here's our end of dungeon steamer trunk. We're going to turn this light on just because and see if it does anything. I don't know if it does or not. I don't know. Talking about other builds really quickly, I think one build that's a lot tougher than people would think it would be a melee build. The tough thing about a melee build is that when you've got enemies that are sniping at you from far away, or enemies that are floating in the air, not necessarily like the blowflies, but there are tougher enemies that fly. It's going to be harder to kill them because you're not going to be able to kill them with melee, so you're going to have to kill them with a ranged weapon. And if you're not putting points into that, which I wouldn't want to if I was doing a melee build, it might be tougher, so maybe that'd be another reason for somebody playing that kind of build to get this gun, because again, you're just going to make brush strokes in the air over the enemy and be able to take them out. So again, if you didn't hear me say it the first time in my other video, Cricket is a traveling vendor. I think she's a jet addict. She hangs out at Vault 81 and also Diamond City. And so I picked her up at Diamond City, and that's where I bought this gun from her. And I think it was 2,000 caps in the beginning of the game. There's some stuff you can sell and make enough money to get that before you go talk to her. And then again, use charisma consumables and clothing, and if you have a high charisma like this character does, then hey, no problem. You know, you got what you wanted. And it comes to you with everything but the fin to barrel. So that's the only mod you have to put on there with Gun Nut 3, or not 3, I think it might be Gun Nut 2. You can fully kit out spray and pray here. There we took out a Stingwing. I think we're going to run into some more of those. And then we're going to get out of the glowing sea, because I think I've pretty much killed everything that you could find down here. I'm not totally sure of that, but we are going to find at least one more Deathclaw. And here's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the aiming is a little more difficult on the faraway targets. But then right there, we didn't even have that guy lit up with our HUD, and we still took him out. Another blood bug. You can get killed by blood bugs pretty easily in the beginning of the game, so you want to be cautious about engaging them. And that is where a companion like Dogmeat will come in very handy, because at the very least, he will distract them while you kill them. Alright, I think I was going to look over there for a second. This looks really toxic. I would be willing to bet if you drank the water out of that puddle, you would instantly become totally irradiated in real life. All right, puttering around, we found a tower over here, so we're gonna, there's Curie. We're gonna go raise the dishes on the tower. Let's see if that does anything. You can see the atmosphere suddenly got brighter, so we're starting to leave the glowing sea area. And we're gonna go up here and turn this on and see if anything cool happens. Probably not. All right, so we're going to wander around a little bit more. I don't know what was supposed to happen. I think we find like an undefined radio signal. There it is, unintelligible. And because it's unintelligible, we can't make any information out. So I'm just going to wander around a little bit here. I really think the game programmers did a great job programming the glowing sea and the area around it. Just utter devastation here. Super irradiated. Nothing's growing here. I think they did just a fantastic job depicting this part of the map. And the glowing sea it's a great way to test how valid your builds are. You know, if you're doing a build, and there are hundreds of ways to build characters in this game, and you want to go see how tough your character is, take them to the glowing sea, you know? And especially if you do a rad power build, because then you're going to be getting healing from radiation. So you'd be right in your element here in the glowing sea with that kind of thing. To be honest, I've never done one of those. I'm hoping at some point in a future Fallout game, we'll be able to decide to get irradiated or not and play as a ghoul character. I was thinking maybe in Fallout 5, because of the success of the show, they'd be like, hey, you could play as a regular person or you could play as a ghoul. And they still might do that, but I'm also hoping that they let us have the final battle between the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, that being said, I mean, I'm not saying the Enclave is totally around still. You know, some of the lore may vary as to whether or not they're still around. I'm not saying that, but I think people would enjoy that as well. All right, here's another alpha. I think my shot totally missed there. And you know, the Deathclaws have a tendency to run back and forth, but if you cripple their legs with explosive bullets, then they can't dance around so much. It makes it really easy to finish them off. So we're going to go collect our loot here from the alpha. Again, not a challenge for fully maxed up commando, fully maxed up demolition expert, and of course spray and pray. And so as I continue to advance this character, which I probably won't try to finish the game with this character, but if I get to level 90, I'll probably be able to put all my points into heavy gunner, and then I'll roll out my explosive minigun, which already in its current state is devastating. I can imagine it to be even more devastating. All right, we found a couple of Saltrons and some gunners over here. I was just shooting Curie because I thought Curie was an enemy. All right, there's an Assaultron. Boom. So 2 Assaultrons, a legendary enemy. Everybody's dead. Curie's not wearing power armor, so I'm not going to have to fix any of that. And I think I'm going to jump down here in a minute and kill these guys. And that's the other thing. You've got a lot of wiggle room when it comes to aiming if you're using spray and pray. Because the explosive damage is so good, you can just get the bullets in the area of the enemy you want to kill and just totally polish them off. You know? Alright. Ghoul Slayers. I think that might be a Nuka World piece of armor. I don't really love the Nuka World armor. Although one time I got an Animals chest piece that looked hilarious because it looked like I had a giant, I don't know, like a monkey or something. Like, it looked like I was wearing it as armor. It was pretty hilarious. So yeah, I mean, your mileage may vary on some of the appearance of the armor. I prefer the combat armor. I think it looks nice. Here I'm trying to figure out where our last enemy is at. And I think I'm going to go look at my phone here in a minute. So you'll have to pardon me for that. Because I mean, I haven't found all the locations yet. I'm looking for a pond. And I think it's around here, but I don't know where specifically. And so, oh, now it's telling me I can't fast travel because there's a bad guy downstairs. So let's go down and kill him. I think it's honestly just a turret, maybe. All right, that's that. Anybody else hiding over there? No. All right. Where are we going? No, no. I don't think it's there. I think it's north of there. I think right now I'm looking at my phone to figure out where I'm going to go. But we're going to go take on a super mutant behemoth. And there, I want to say, I think are 5 locations on the map of a super mutant behemoth. And just to illustrate, again, on a tougher enemy, how good this is, we've killed several. We killed an Alpha Deathclaw, a Chameleon Deathclaw, a Matriarch Deathclaw, several Legendary Rad Scorpions. But I'm like, hey, let's get one really, really big enemy in here. So we are going to fast travel eventually to get to where the behemoth is. And I think I'm just going to go to Mercer Safe House here and then go north of there to get to it. So if I could quit dawdling around and just actually go to the spot, you will get to see how powerful this is. All right. So we're off. Again, if you have any questions about any other kind of builds, I think I've started almost every kind of build there is. So it would be really easy for me to show you a melee build, show you a rifleman build, show you a sneaky VATS pistol build, a power armor build the traditional way with high strength. Yeah, I could probably get one of those up too by next weekend. So any kind of build you're interested in, let me know in the comments and I will happily make a video. But I think we're going to have to head more south to get to where we want to go. And we will do our final enemy for our spray and pray build. So again, if you've been watching this far, thanks for watching. You must be really bored, or you must be really interested in seeing how this is going to perform. But I think you already know we're going to wreck the face of anything we come up against, because unless it's an enemy that flies, I generally don't have a problem killing it, unless it can teleport to my feet, and then I am at far greater danger of killing myself with these explosive bullets. All right, so there is the super mutant behemoth, and we are going to get real close and pick some flowers and then light him up. And as you can see, he is very dead, and we blew up his cars, and it was very easy to do. So yeah, when you get to a certain point, I hate to say it, it's not going to be a challenge killing almost any enemy in this game. And I think that's true for whatever build you're going to make. So the important thing is that you have fun. Don't make it too challenging for yourself when you're just starting out. Start the hardness on easy or very easy. And then if it's too easy, then you can go increase the difficulty level. All right. I know what I'm doing here, so I started at very hard difficulty. I got to tell you, I've played some games in survival difficulty. I got killed by a blowfly. It wasn't very fun. So I like very hard. I may give survival another try, but I'm just saying, you don't have to kill yourself out here. Just get to a level you're comfortable with. So you have fun. That's the point of playing the game. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, we've got Demolition Expert at 5 stars. And if we go up to Commando, we've got that at 5 stars too. That's how you make Spray and Pray work for you. You don't need to put more points in either of these skills unless you have points to burn. Thanks for watching. My name's KPZ. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you next time, everybody.